So there's a story in the Huffington Post here about the progress being made in Saudi Arabia. Saudi women allowed inside sports stadiums in small advance for women's rights. The country lifted its ban on female drivers last month. They say Saudi Arabia has announced plans to allow women to enter sports stadiums starting next year in the latest incremental advance for women's rights in the conservative Muslim country. Starting in 2018, women will be allowed to attend sporting events at 3 major stadiums in Riyadh, Jeddah, and Dammam. I probably pronounced that last one wrong. The Saudi General Sports Authority announced. However, female spectators will likely be relegated to a family section. No, that's separate from male-only seating, the Associated Press reports. Women were allowed to enter the King Fahd International Stadium in Riyadh for the first time last month for a one-off event celebrating the anniversary of the country's founding, reports Reuters. They enter the stadium through a separate gate. It is the first time I have come to the stadium, and I feel like more of a Saudi citizen. 25-year-old Sultana, who did not provide her last name, told Reuters at the event, God willing, tomorrow will be permitted bigger and better things like driving and travel. Shortly after the anniversary event, the kingdom announced plans to lift its ban on female drivers, effective next June. Quote, I'm just trying to hold back the tears, 26-year-old Sarah Altari told HuffPost last month after the announcement. It's been a long time coming. I'm full of hope and optimism and joy and very proud today to be a Saudi woman. So, listen, on the one hand, of course, it's great that we're moving in the right direction. On the other hand, the bar is so fucking low that we're now cheering segregation. Because they're going, yeah, well, okay, we're going to let you in. Oh, we're always so liberal and progressive. But you get your own section. So we're going to, like, segregate the genders. Because we're so enlightened. Okay. The point of doing this story is to show you that there's a double standard. Because any nation that's a U.S. ally, like Saudi Arabia is one of our top allies, everything is always covered in a positive light. So instead of the main focus of the story being, hey man, women still need a fucking guardian to leave the house. Saudi women are still mandated by law to cover from head to toe. Saudi Arabia still beheads people in the public square for sorcery and witchcraft. They still say all atheists are terrorists. Instead of that being the focus of the story, the focus is slowly reforming, moving in the right direction, progressive. Oh, yes, Saudi Arabia. Oh. Meanwhile, Iran, which has been way in front of Saudi Arabia for a long time, all the headlines on them are the opposite. To focus on the negative, oh yeah, U.S. enemy states, well, let's focus on how backwards they are, even though they're much more significantly enlightened and advanced compared to Saudi Arabia. So you see the latent U.S. establishment bias just seeping through in all these stories. I'm in favor of objectivity across the board, so you cover everything. Give the good, give the bad, give the total picture. In all cases, U.S. friend, U.S. enemy, whatever the case is. But you're not going to see that. You're going to see wall to wall, and oh my goodness, as soon as they get to the stories from the real establishment press, the real neocon writers like Max Boot, they're going to be coming all over themselves. Like, oh, we told you Saudi reform is taking over, and this is a partnership for the future. Go fuck yourself. You refuse to acknowledge the negative in countries that are willing to be subservient or work with U.S. empire. You're refusing to seriously criticize those things because you care more about the U.S. establishment and the U.S. empire and the status quo and business as usual, even if that means teaming up with religious fundamentalist extremists who share an ideology with jihadists.